Now, speaking of television, yes, we will talk about the Ant-Man trailer, folks. That's coming up before. But Spencer did remind me before we come on that there is absolutely no way that we can't mention the thing that certainly I am most excited about this year. I have more invested in this project working than anything that's coming out in film this year, honestly. Daredevil, of course, is the very first Marvel Netflix show. We thought it was coming out in May, probably like late May after we got Avengers, and we'd be having a really merry Marvel month in May. No! They said no. We're getting it April 10th, I believe is the date. They've given us a motion poster. They haven't given us much else yet, but I did not see that coming, and I cannot friggin' wait. I mean, where are you coming into this show? What's your level of hype and passion right now, Spencer?
Oh, man, because, when I first got my job with Superhero Hype, my boss asked me, so who are your favorite superheroes? And the three that I told him were Green Arrow, Swamp Thing, and Daredevil. So Daredevil is like, a lot of people, Batman is, he's it. It's Batman. He's the best one. But Daredevil is my guy. Like, I love that character so much. So it's very hard for me to not be super excited by everything I see, even if some of the elements or photos, things that they've released have underwhelmed a lot of other people. I'm still the champion that's like, guys, look, it's Daredevil. So, I mean, I think I'm more excited for Daredevil at this moment than I am Avengers, but that's only because I get Daredevil before Avengers.
No, absolutely. I mean, I'm right there with you. To me, my experience with Daredevil's been an interesting one and I'll always say this, folks, say what you want about the movie, and you have, all of us, but I will never diss that film. I know it's flawed, but that movie was interesting enough and showed me enough of the character that I started reading Daredevil comics. And once I did, he very quickly became my favourite Marvel character. And the more and more I thought about it, the more I just thought, how frustrating is it that people are thinking, just because of their exposure to that movie, that he's some kind of really crappy rape Batman imitator, and it's not true. He's a beautifully written character, and it was one of those no-brainers that, they were trying to get another movie, and Joe Carnahan put together that little proof of concept footage about doing a new Daredevil movie set in the 70s, and it never went anywhere. Personally, I was for it just because I wanted to see something, anything, just a way to make this thing work. And the most obvious thing was to do it as a television show, because if you've read the books, if you've read the the Bendis run of the character from the 2000s, if you've read the Brubaker run which followed on from that and was almost as good, I mean, they read like seasons of a television show, and that's not to even go into obviously the biggest arcs of Daredevil's career, the Frank Miller work, the Elektra saga, Born Again. That's by the way, folks, I will predict that right now. I predict we're going to get future seasons of Daredevil, and I predict that right now, season 1, the inspiration is very much the miniseries called The Man Without Fear, which was Frank Miller's definitive take on the origin of Daredevil. I do believe that season 2, they will get round to it, and that will be the Elektra saga, done properly. And then I think season 3 will be Born Again, in which Karen Page, who is in this season, sells out the true identity of Daredevil for a quick fix of drugs, and ends up completely destroying the life of the man that she cares the most about, because that information very quickly falls into the hands of the Kingpin.
How wonderful would it be, though, if they lay out those 3 seasons, they take a break for a while, and then they come back with season 4 that is Daredevil End of Days?
Oh man, well, End of Days is I don't mind. I read End of Days on your recommendation, and I just got depressed because I don't want. Well, I think we talked about this. I mean, there's a debate about whether it's just a what if story, because folks, without spoiling too much, I mean, it's if you treat End of Days as continuity, it's the last story. It's the end of Matt Murdock, and it's not a happy ending. I don't suppose it ever was going to be a happy ending for Matt Murdock. His life is defined by misery. I'll warn you folks, if you're not ready for it, this is not going to be a cheerful show. If they do it right, this is not going to be chirpy. This is not going to be this is not going to be the kind of thing that would air Tuesday nights, 8 o'clock on ABC, basically. Netflix is the perfect place for it.
Well, and with End of Days, it's unhappy for a Matt Murdock, but for the legacy of Daredevil, it's quite incredible. Yeah.
Anybody could be Daredevil. That was the point. So we're really looking forward to it. Spencer wants a trailer. Personally, I don't. Just think about it this way, Spencer. Imagine when April 10th comes along, imagine if you have not seen a frame of this show. All you've seen is that motion poster and obviously that one still of the costume. And then there's the entire season all laid out for you and you have no idea what you're about to see. Wouldn't you rather have that? Wouldn't that be amazing?
You present an excellent point, because I'll make an analogy for you, is that, now I'm at the age where when Christmas rolls around, people just say, what do you want for Christmas? And then I tell them. And then that's what I end up getting. But when I was a kid, I would say things that I wanted for Christmas, but then I would get things for Christmas that I had never thought that I should ask for, never would have thought of asking, but it exceeded the things that I would have wanted. So I think you're right. I think that, not knowing a thing about it and then just diving right in would be ideal. But, I run one of the big superhero websites, so I kind of have to watch I don't have to watch every ad that comes out, but, I'm sure they're going to put out about 400 trailers or TV spots for this one, so
no.
I'll end up seeing a handful of them.
It's a terrible crux to bear, but I suppose you doing that and us doing this show, I suppose when they bring it out, as much as I'd like to not watch it, we are going to watch it. We're just too excited, but it's so close, folks. I can't believe how close it is. And we haven't decided exactly how we're going to basically do our coverage of it, whether it's going to be reviews of every single episode, simply because of the nature of the way it's going to be released all in one go. It's a lot to digest, so I think we're going to be debating how we do it all the way up to the end, and how we watch it too. Like we've been debating off air, do we binge watch it or do we digest it? I'll be debating that within my own head right up until the end. But man, I'm gonna be having dreams about this thing. Oh man, so excited.